Yes, 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 yes. UNA. Yeah, I am yours truly, and yours truly, Diva Lyri, representing UNA University. And UNA Republic, welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, 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 yes. UNA. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome and welcome. Thank y'all for joining. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri with UNA University and UNA Republic. Welcome everybody. All right, so what are we doing today? We are we're preparing for our summer season 2023. It's going to be a great season, a lovely season, very much like we had for spring 2023. All right, and I want to go into what getting into for this upcoming season. All right, so we're gonna go into that, and what else are we going into? Anything you all want to talk about? We've been talking about law. I went into some Anunnaki uh, previously on some of the previous sessions. I went into the actual breakdown and the molecular structure of the male and the female. So I know I ruffled some feathers, so I had to put that session down. But we can talk about some law if you want. Let me know what you'd like to talk about. Now, I want to make sure my people who have purchased your law book, check your email, please. My people who have purchased the law book, check your email, please. Make sure you check your spam folder and your junk mail folder, because often our emails end up in those folders, okay? So check your spam and junk mail folder now. Uh, this is the UNA law book, okay? For those of y'all who purchased it, thank you so much. We appreciate your love. We appreciate your support. And these books, they go very fast. So I really do appreciate you guys purchasing it. Check your email because we sent a confirmation to everyone, making sure that your mailing address is correct. So just check your emails. Make sure you respond to those, okay? So we can get them to you immediately. Immediately. All right. Uh, Now, some of you all are asking, well, what book is that? Where can I get it? I'm trying to see if I can get get some shade on this thing for my YouTube people. Let me see if I can do it like this. All right, UNA Beginner Law Book. Now, this book, you can get it. You can find the link in the live in the you can find the link in the bio, or you can go to unauniversity.com. unauniversity.com, and you can get this book. The ebook is $19.99. The ebook is $19.99. The physical book is $29.99. All right. With the physical book, you get the hierarchy of law chart that is laminated. You get the universal law chart that is laminated, and you get the vibratory frequency chart that is laminated. Now, these charts are all in the book. We give you a laminated copy because we want you to put them up. We want you to put them in your house, on your refrigerator, in your wherever. Put them up. Okay. So these are very powerful books. I told y'all when I'm going into court. They're also, like I told you, they're inside the book too. So you'll be able to find them in here. We just want to make sure we send you extra copies. Don't tear up the book trying to put your copies up. Okay. Uh, all of that is in here. We go into the importance of contracting and understanding contracts. We go into the importance of these laws, these law charts. And we also have all 300 of the what we call God's laws, all right, that are in this, which are maxims of law. So y'all want to get this book. It's powerful. Thank y'all so much for supporting us. Thank you for purchasing the book. And please, it is a powerful tool and a weapon. Learn how to use it. All right. Thank you all for coming in. Blue Duke. Yo. Shelly, thank you so much for sharing. Brian, thank you so much for sharing the live. The One Divine, welcome, welcome, and welcome, J Fly. Thank you so much for joining and following. All right, so let's get into this thing. What are we talking about? I want to know what you want to talk about, really. That's really what I want to know. I've talked a bit in the past about our trust and that we offer our members of UNA. Now, this trust is a what we do when we're putting ourselves under trust. It's an agreement between you, which is a sovereign, and UNA, which is a sovereign, where we recognize you and we put your documents on our public record. All right. So with these documents, they come sealed. So it has a declaration that is sealed. It has a UCC that is sealed, and these are UNA seals here. It also has a security agreement, which is sealed. Okay. If y'all know anything about getting trust, you're looking at anywhere from 200 up to upwards of 2,000 to get a trust, right? These are very powerful, just like that book, but even more powerful because it's specifically dealing with you and your vessel. So these are very powerful. So we offer these, and also our organization, and then it also comes with a badge. This deals with your corporation name, all right? And so when the barcode on here is scanned, when the barcode on here is scanned, then it'll show that you are a standing member with UNA. All right. So those are some packages that we offer. If you're wanting that, go ahead and send a message in the inbox so we can get it to you. Now, what do y'all want to talk about? Monet Love, you are on the board. All right. What does that mean? I don't know, but okay. All right, so if you guys have anything in particular you want to talk about, and remember, we've been talking about law, all laws. So what is UNA? And I do want to go over that since I have an opportunity. And I'm not going to stay on here long. I just want to come on and say hello and just touch bases with you guys on this Friday night. It is 9/11, 9/11, on this second day of June. All right. UNA is a county, all right? It is a nation. It is a nation of nations, meaning the people who come into UNA are nations all by themselves. You are a nation all by yourself. Of course, we don't get told that because that's too much power to know these things. But you've got to recognize that you are made up of many different spiritual entities, and you are a nation all by yourself. That's what you're not told. So with UNA, we are a sovereign entity, and we deal with other sovereign entities that come into our organization. This is not a situation where you are standing under somebody and hoping they protect you. No, we need you to have full knowledge, or at least be attempting to gain full knowledge, because if you're just coming in to stand and you have no knowledge of who you are, then we can't build with you. We can't do business with you because you don't know true law. Okay. So we need you to have knowledge of self. We're not here to protect you, or we're here to give you the tools that you need to protect yourself. But we're going to stand for you. If you standing, we're going to stand with you. If you are willing to stand up for your rights, we're going to be there to stand with you. But you've got to stand. It's not like we're going to just stand over you and protect. You got to be ready to protect your own rights, because we can't fight for somebody who's not willing to stand for themselves. All right. Monet says, I'm sending you energy. I'm sending you energy too, Monet. Thank you, Monet Love. All right. Yes, for the new earth. That's right. This is the new earth. Some of us, we walking in our paradise in this new earth. So thank you, Monet Love. All right, so we're going to get into, I want to get into going into what UNA is. So again, a nation of nations. All right, and what we do is our purpose is to make sure that when you're wanting to file your documents, you're knowing what to do and how to do it. All right, you're understanding why putting documents on record is so important, because we write laws. We are the creator of laws. We are, not the system. And so we're not, it's not that we're here fighting the system or what have you, but you've got to understand what your rights are, and then you got to be willing to stand on them. So what we do is make sure that you know how to stand. So you've got UNA Republic, which is the county side of UNA. And again, we're making sure that your documents get on record. We're helping you to put your documents on our record. We're a sovereign entity standing with you as another sovereign entity. Okay, now the other side is UNA University. That is where we are educating you. This is where you can come in and get your knowledge. Now, while we do supply trusts, we do create them for you. We help you. We actually create them for you, and then we give you insight and information on how to use them. However, um, you've got to be willing to do some research for yourself and understand what's going on. All right. So this is why we have the university, because this is a powerful tool. If you don't know how to use it, then you can't really make it work for you. All right. So one of the things we encourage you to do and invite you to do is to come into the university. All right. So that we can help you learn how to use these tools. That's important. That's important. Little Mike, Brad, Optimus. Welcome, user. So, all right. So let's. What I want to get into is some law, because we had been talking about, the process of when there's a traffic ticket and what goes on throughout that whole process. How you first are entering into a contract, not knowing that you're entering into a contract, and then because you don't respond to the contract, you end up agreeing to all of the terms of the contract. Some of y'all like, a contract. What contract? Well, a ticket is a contract. All right. Hi, Jess or Jesse. Welcome. Let's see who else. T Wood. Welcome. All right. So yeah, when you sign those tickets, you're entering into a contract. So we went over that. We went over what happens when you step into a court. All right, and why you're treated a certain way and things that you do and don't do. And I went all the way down to when, let's say you are, the judge says, oh, you're guilty of this, I find. Let me reiterate this. These courts are not true courts. All right, they're fraudulent courts. They're not even real courts. All right. This is why we want to respond before we go into the court, because if you get into the court and you have not answered, you're really already guilty as per a common law principle. Common law and contract law are the same. Do not confuse common law with case law. Right here on this hierarchy of law chart, you'll have contract law. And then see how high it is. You're the sovereign. Sovereign is here. And here's contract law right underneath. Sovereigns are the ones that create law. And what these agencies are operating under, and they're all the way down here, is a contract law principle, whereby if a contract is sent to you and you don't respond, all right, if you don't respond, then you are in default. Okay, if you're in default, it means that you have agreed to all the terms of that contract that you have signed. So the problem is that we're not aware of this contract law. That's why y'all got it. That's why we have the university, because a lot of times we enter contracts and we don't even recognize it that we're entering it. So for example, we do so many things uh, throughout our lives where we're entering contracts. Even when you're creating the labels to send to your address when you're writing on there, so your address or what have you. When you're writing an abbreviation, you're entering into a contract. So these are things that we have to understand what's going on in this system and how we're constantly just doing things from a legal perspective and not understanding it. Now, even when we say use words to describe ourselves, when people are calling themselves black, when people are calling themselves minority or descendants of slaves, you're not recognizing the contract that you're entering into. All right. When you're saying things like when you walk into court and they say guilty, not guilty, and no low. You don't even recognize that when you make a statement, you say guilty, not guilty, or no low, that you're entering into a contract right there. You're putting yourself under their jurisdiction as soon as you make a plea. So we got to really start understanding law and how we're constantly putting ourselves into contracts and not recognizing it. But really, I'm wanting you all to tell me what you want to talk about. I got a ticket and my court date is this month. I need assistance on this. All right. So let me say this. When you get a ticket, you're supposed to respond to it. You're supposed to respond to it quickly. All right, within 7 days. Otherwise, if you're not responding to that ticket, then you're agreeing. Did you sign that ticket? Let's see. Did you sign that ticket? Nagawana? Did you sign a ticket? KL, accused defendant. Expound on what you're saying, KL. And thank you for joining. All right, so um, getting back to this hierarchy of law chart, why it's so important. All right, it's so important to understand uh, what where you are on this chart, because when we're looking at the corporations, they're all the way down here. And the deal is, when you keep answering as a citizen, you're putting yourself under the jurisdiction of these corporations. Well, remember, we talked about these trusts. Okay, this trust, when you take on your own trust, you coming from down here as a citizen to up here as a sovereign, right? You're all the way up here as a sovereign. You have this list, you should pull it out, check it out. So we've got to start recognizing we don't want to stay down here as a citizen. We want to be up here as a sovereign. All right. All right. So I want to go into what's going on this season. If you all have something that you want to speak about today, let me know. KL Bay, thank you for joining. All right. So let's go into what we're doing this season. Now, we tend to have a beginner session, intermediate session, and advanced session. This season coming up, we're going to have, because we have a graduating class. This will be our first graduating class for UNA University. So, but what we're going to have for summer season, we have a contract writing session, and it's important to understand how to write contracts. So when you get a ticket, you need to know how to write a contract and let them know you don't agree to you don't consent to their contract. Okay, you're gonna have to learn how to write a contract, because the ticket, as we speak about in this book, is a contract. We have it in here. We have a ticket sample in this book. Then it deals with how a ticket is a contract, and you got to learn how to write your own contracts so you can deal with the contracts that are coming at you. You've got to understand that when a mortgage company sends you a notice saying, oh, you said you were going to pay such and such amount of money and you haven't paid it, that's a contract. And even when you're talking about your water bill, light bill, gas bill company, when they send you a notice saying, oh, you're supposed to pay us this amount of money, that is a contract. Well, the thing is, you never respond to their contracts. You never say to them, no, that's not how much I'm supposed to pay you for this month. You got to learn how to write a contract. All right, you also got to understand, you're going to start understanding what's really going on and how you aren't supposed to be paying for anything anyway, that everything is already paid. So we go into those things in contract writing. Uh, we go into how to deal with your the companies that are coming at you for payment, whether it be mortgage, whether it be student loans. We go into that. All right. So if y'all don't have any questions, Jesse says, blockchain says, I need you. All right, send a message in the inbox. Let's have a consultation, blockchain. All right, Jesse says, my dear, the courts in Ventura County are trying to give me years behind bars. I'm sui juris. All right. Did you had to have pled guilty, not guilty, or nolo in order for them to be giving you years behind bars. Uh, and so what you got to do, you've got to start recognizing what you've done to get yourself in that place. But also there's a way out of it. Let me go into this real quick and let's understand all the way through this whole situation. Let's understand this. That from the beginning of the process, for example, where there's a ticket, all the way up until the time where the judge says, guilty, pay me $1,000, there is still remedy all the way through. There is still remedy all the way through. So when you get the ticket, what you should be doing is ready to respond to it within 7 days. Because if you don't respond, then you have uh, consented to all of the terms of the contract, which is the ticket. All right. So let's say you don't respond and then you walk into court. Now, if you do respond, then they are supposed to be throwing that ticket out because you've said, I'm not contracting with you. But if you do respond, they're supposed to throw it out. If you don't respond and you end up going into court, then what's going to happen is, or let's say you don't respond and you don't go to court. What they're going to do is put a lien on your all capital letter corporation. A lien, also known as a warrant. Okay, so they're putting a warrant out for your arrest. That is a lien on your all capital letter corporation. And those of y'all who've been with me, you know that they can't deal with your spiritual entity. But the problem is we keep answering to this dead fictitious entity, that all capital letter corporation, and that's why they keep taking your vessel, because you keep saying, well, I'm property. Well, you're going to learn how to stop saying I'm property. All right. KL, right. The court needs to prove jurisdiction. So, and I'm going to get to that. But if you don't go to court, then they're going to put a warrant out for your arrest or a lien on your all capital letter corporation. So let's say you don't respond to the traffic ticket and you go into court. When you get into court, you have to recognize that you or the court does not have jurisdiction over your spiritual entity. So if you're going in there, which really we suggest you don't go into their courts, we really suggest that you stay out of their courts because there's no true fairness in them. So let's understand, if you have not responded to the ticket, when you're walking in, you really have already lost the case. All right, because you have not responded. And at this point, they're going to pretend like they're going to listen to you, but they're not. They're going to pretend like they're going to listen to you, but they're not. Because you haven't answered it, you are guilty, or you have consented to all of the terms of that traffic ticket, meaning you agreed to pay it because you didn't respond. All right. But when you go in there, what you have to also understand, that there is such a law whereby they have to show that you physically harmed another person, like you physically injured somebody else. And whoever it is that's coming against you, because if you're in court, this is a lawsuit. Whoever it is that's bringing a lawsuit against you, they got to show up in court, not just their representative, because by law, if we're talking about the Constitution, and even if we're talking about the Constitution for the United States or the federal Constitution. By the way, I need y'all to understand something. Here's a Constitution right here. or on this law chart. Now, the Constitution, we're talking about the Constitution for the United States of America, which is the organic Constitution, or the Constitution of the United States. Okay, right here. But there's a federal U.S. Constitution that's down here. All right, but we're not getting into that. Here's the bottom line. Here's a Constitution right here. And let's say we're talking about the organic Constitution. In this Constitution, it says that whoever is accusing you, you have the right to face them. You have the right to see who they are. So if it is not a living entity that's coming against you, if it's like a corporation or the state of Georgia, the city of this or the county of that, that's not a real being. And if they can't show that you harmed a physical entity, then the court has no business with you. They don't have jurisdiction. That's what we're talking about when we say the court has no jurisdiction. If they can't prove that you have harmed another physical human being, then the court does not have jurisdiction. And that's what you have to learn how to say. Corporation means corpse or dead. Yes, thank you, Kaylee. So, KL, I'm sorry. Thank you, KL. So, what we're saying is, you've got to recognize this is why we had a university, because if you coming to me right here right now, oh, I just got a ticket, you got to learn what's going on in court. And if you got to go to court and you haven't answered the ticket, you need to start. This is why I talk to your people who haven't had that kind of situation. Make sure that you all are in being willing to come into the university and start learning this, so that you don't get to the point where something pops up and you don't have the tools you need to help yourself. All right. Make sure if you're listening to this and you haven't had these issues, make sure you come into the sessions, be willing to learn, so that you're not at the last minute trying to cram for the test, if you will. MM says, sure, try that in court and wait on the verdict. MM, don't try it in court and wait on the verdict. How about that? How about you go into court and you just let them hit you with that $1,000 fine or whatever it is they want to hit you with, and then don't do nothing. So I'm giving this to intelligent people who want to learn for themselves. Now, if you're not here to learn, please find another channel and listen to somebody who tells you about all the other stuff that you want to hear about. But for me and for this channel, I'm speaking to those intelligent people who know that there's something wrong with the system and want to know how to deal with it. Okay, I'm talking to you. So now, getting back to what's happening when you walk into the court. You are in a situation. Yes, thank you, William. Try to cut it out before it gets to the court. When you walk into court, you're in a situation where you've already agreed to the terms of the contract, but at the same time, you got to recognize that you got to establish jurisdiction and the fact on record that the court does not have jurisdiction over you, the spiritual living being. All right. So now when we get to this point, and let me say this too, these courts, as I said, they are not true courts, especially when you're talking about a traffic court. It's not a true court. And so this is why we want to stay out of them, because when you go into them, there's so many things that can go on and can go wrong. There are so many things that can go on that can go wrong. This is why if you're going into their courts, you better be under trust. I'm gonna tell you that first of all, right here. Let me go into this real quick. If you're going into one of their courts, be under trust. Because again, the only thing they're dealing with is that all capital letter entity. All right. They're only dealing with the all capital letter entity. And what you've got to recognize is that because they're only dealing with that all capital letter entity, they need your social security number, or they need your driver's license number. All of that is tied to your social security number and all that. This is why we put it under trust. We put your vessel under trust, because even if something goes wrong where they want to snatch you up or whatever, They can't do anything with you in the system because you have taken that out of system when you put yourself under trust. All right. I I I can tell you how powerful they are because I've seen it work with my students, with myself, with my clients. That's a very powerful tool to trust. When you want to talk about what the elite know, they know this. They know contract law. And they know that once you have put yourself under trust, they can't mess with you in the system. They might kidnap you. They might kidnap you. Kidnap you meaning arrest you. And they'll put you in jail, but they're gonna have to let you go. You know why? Because when you're under trust, then they can't access your social security number. And if they can't access your social security number, then they can't make money. And if they can't make money, they're not gonna keep messing with you because they're not gonna feed you. Y'all have been told that you go to jail and it's for free. No, it's not. You paying for it with your social security card. Your social security number is paying for it. If they can't tap into that, they can't make money. And if it don't make money, it don't make sense. So they're gonna spit you out. You gotta get out of here, man. We're not gonna keep feeding you. We're not gonna keep giving you shelter. We're not gonna keep giving you clothing. You gotta get out of here. That trust is very powerful. I call it the get out of jail free card. So getting back into this, when you go into court, how do I get under trust? Well, thank you for that question, Pretty. Uh, we offer these to our members. And again, or you can, you don't have to get it from me. So I'm not here just selling you the product. I'm just letting you know about what trust is and what the elite know. But you can get a trust from anywhere. But our trusts, they come with your declaration, security agreement, and UCC. We also put them online for you on our public record. It also comes with an allodial ID. This deals with your spiritual name. All right. And it also has a barcode where when you scan that barcode, you're always able to see your documents on our public record. And we also give you insight on how to put them on record with your county and put them on record in your state. We also have what we call our membership badge, or it used to be called an exemption badge, but it's a membership badge. And basically, this deals with your corporation name and it shows that you are a member of UNA. You scan that barcode, it'll take you to our membership site and show that you're a member of UNA. So, but basically, that's how you're getting under trust. Getting back on this. So, if you're going into court, you want to be under trust. If you have to go in there, you wants to be under trust. That is a level of protection that even if they do kidnap you for whatever reason, they're going to have to spit you out. Okay. Now, so let's say you go into court and you don't know, and they go guilty, not guilty, or no law. Now, what you're supposed to be doing is stating that you're the authorized representative and not answering to the name, because remember, they can't call your upper and lowercase name that your mother gave you. The only thing they're going to call is that all capital letter name. The issue is that both of those names sound alike. All right? Because you don't even know, most of us don't even recognize you looking at your driver's license, you thinking that's your name when it's your corporation's name, and you keep answering to it. All right. So when you have an allodial ID with your spiritual name on it, okay, what it is doing is it is recognizing or it is showing that you're identifying as a spiritual name with a spiritual title. Okay. So if you're walking in there, you want to have these things established. Also, you're wanting to state you're the authorized representative for the all cap name as opposed to answering for the all cap name. Okay, that's what you're doing when you say, I'm this person to the judge. Then you say you are property. All right, it is recognized if you know how to defend it. We're talking about the allodial ID. Abby, what are you talking about if you don't need to get a shot to get it? Get a shot to get what? What are you talking about, Abby? Expound on that for me. Nathaniel says, I'm in. All right, Nathaniel. Jose, let me tell you something, Jose. Jose says, and I want y'all to pay attention because, you know, I love it when I get people who are ignorant to come in my sessions and say ignorant things. Jose says those documents are not recognized. All right. Jose don't Torres should be called Jose don't know what the hell he's talking about. So let me help y'all understand something. These documents, first of all, UNA is 100% federally recognized and recognized on the county level, which are the highest on the private and the public side. Also, we teach you how to put these on public record and to make sure that they are respected on public record. We also show you how to take all of your information out of the system. So, Jose, you don't know what you're talking about because they are recognized. How much does it come with? How much and does it come with the do not detain? Jetback. The packages are 175. The membership package is 175, and we show you how to get it to the point where it is a quote unquote do not detain. All right. All right. So now let me carry on. And you know, let me say this about the university, which is coming up, summer season 2023. I need y'all to understand that this is a university. It's not just, oh, you come in and in 3 months and I'm going to get this and I'm going to be free. You got to learn what's been going on. And some of our students come in, you know, when you go to the more advanced classes, we show you how to get your tags for your vehicle, where when a cop is trying to pull you over, they won't even pull you over. When you have these tags, they are federally recognized. They're not going to pull you over because you're going to have a specific type of tag. So y'all not understanding why a cop pulls you over in the first place. Well, it's because you're flying a flag. What y'all think is a tag, but it's a flag. Y'all got a flag on the back of your car that says your car is property of the state. State of Tennessee, state of Georgia, state of whatever. When you are flying this flag or this tag on the back of your car, you have said your car or your vehicle is property of the state. Well, we show you how to get a different flag that belongs to your nation, so that when you're flying your nation's flag on the back of your car, they won't even pull you over because they automatically know that you are not under their jurisdiction. Okay. Jose, did you know anything about that, Jose? You still with me, Jose? Because I'm letting you know the information that you learn in the university is very powerful. If you're talking about freeing yourself, yeah, you're going to have to put some time and energy into it. You're going to have to. But we're going through all of the information so that you can learn how to walk in this dimension and keep people's hands off of you and what belongs to you. KL says, what is my nation? All right, KL. So we show you how to create a nation. You got to understand, first of all, let's understand this. When I talk about your spiritual name, this is a nation. Diva Lyri. Diva Lyri is literally a nation. I need y'all to understand something. I want y'all to pay attention now, because y'all going to get to the spiritual side of this game. Because those who are playing this game, they full well know. Thank you to Leco for Tolteco. Thank you so much, Tolteco, for the love. I really do appreciate it. So let's understand this. All right. You are made up of every element of the planet. You are a walking landmass. You are a walking state, in fact. Now, when you were born, your mother gave your state a name. And then the system also created an all capital letter corporation. That corporation is not your state. That corporation is a dead fictitious entity. But the problem is you have been answering to this dead entity over here, and you have to get back to renaming your state so that you don't confuse it with that dead entity. You got to rename your state. And when you have the right to rename your state, nobody told you that. You are a walking landmass. You are a nation. You are a country. You are the all by yourself. So what we have to do is we have to establish a declaration for your nation. All right. So you understanding that you are a landmass. Within you are many different spiritual entities. So you are the creator or the ruler rather of this landmass, and you are the ruler of all of these nations that are within you. Okay, you have the right to change the name, and you need to put the nation under trust. Do not tread on me. Do not tread on my nation. Thank you, Pretty. I appreciate the love. All right. Pretty says, thank you for your time and energy on tonight. I appreciate the gems. Thank you, Pretty. I appreciate the love. So what I'm saying to you is you've got to recognize the power of this knowledge, because there's a game that's being played, and because you don't know it, you keep falling into traps and signing contracts, not recognizing what your true power is. All right, so we're understanding. The question was, what is my nation? This is your nation right here, and you have to name your nation. It's all, your mother named your nation when you were born. You allowed somebody to create a corporation, or your mother did rather, allow somebody to create a corporation that sounds and looks like the name she gave you, but it's not the same name. But you've been answering to that dead name. So now you need to create a new name. All right. We go into that, inbox me the invoice info to join. Thank you, True King. Go ahead and send a message, and we'll send you that information. Send us a message in the inbox, and we'll send you the information. Uh, Nagajana says, thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Barry says, facts. All right, Barry, let's do it. Now, all right. So all of you all who want information, just leave a message in the inbox, and we're going to send you, whatever information you're looking for. If you're wanting to become a member, just leave a message. We'll send you the link so that you can go ahead and sign up to become a member. And we take our membership very seriously, because I need y'all to understand something. These tools are so powerful, and we've had people to abuse these and hurt other people. Well, we don't play that. All right. So it's important that we take our membership seriously. So we want you to leave a message. We're going to send you a link for the information and how you can become a member and get this membership package. They are $175, but we're going to send you the link. And again, you don't even have to get it from us. Get it from somebody else. We're giving you all the information you need right here. But you're still going to have the knowledge, and you're still going to have to need to know how to walk. I don't know Sabir Bay, but thank you for asking, Jam. Let's see. Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody else have any questions before I get out of here? And thank y'all so much for the love. I really do appreciate you guys. I just want to make sure that I take some time to give you insight on what's going on in the system and how you can better stand. Henry says, you better work. King, go ahead and leave a message in the inbox and let me know exactly what you're looking for. Uh, I want to get back to the court and what's going on in court. Greetings, True King. Let me see. Subrogation in court. Thank you, Beyond. All right, so Beyond is on it. So y'all need to look up this term, subrogation. All right, Subrogation. Now, and we're going to get into that right now. So I talked about how when you go into court, you need to be dealing with the jurisdiction of the court, and we've gone over that and how to stand. Now, if the judge insists guilty, not guilty, or no, again, they cannot move forward until they establish jurisdiction. And if you're making it clear who have you harmed, if you haven't harmed anybody, and if there's not a physical person there, being that's trying to sue you, then that the court does not have jurisdiction and they can't move forward, but they will try. All right, let's say you don't know enough about how to stand on jurisdiction and you say not guilty. All right, or like we can even say if you say guilty. All right, let's say you say guilty. The judge is going to issue a fine of $1,000, let's say. What you have to recognize is that there, first of all, you had to have signed something to get to this point. There has to be a contract. I told y'all that ticket is a contract. You had to have signed that contract. If you didn't sign that contract, then there is no contract. Some of these courts are so crooked and backwards. They will try to continue even if there's not a signature. I'm letting you know up front. Some of these courts are crooked and backwards, and they will try to continue even if there's not a signature. If there's not a signature, then they don't have authority or jurisdiction to even create a ticket. They don't have the jurisdiction, because even if they want to say, okay, we're going to put a warrant out for your arrest, they don't have a case. Well, some of them are so backwards, and this is why we have to start standing up. This is why you have to start standing up. If y'all are listening to people who are going on, this don't work, or go in the court then and let them do that, well, go in the court and don't do anything then. Just say guilty and shut the heck up and take it. Just bend over. Or you're going to learn how to stand. If when we start standing, and I'm telling you, the more of us that wake up and start standing up and say, you know what, no, I'm not going to agree with this, I'm not going to consent, they got to stand down. The system has to change when you stand up. We've been walking on our knees, bent over and bending over backwards and everything else instead of standing up. When you stand up, the system has to change. All right. I'm not saying it's easy, but you gotta at least know what your rights are. All right. So when you're going into court and you have, let's say you have said guilty, and the judge says, all right, $1,000. All right, there better be a ticket. I need y'all to understand this game these people have been playing. If there is a ticket that you have signed, that ticket has been monetized. Let me say it again. If there is a ticket that you have signed, that ticket has been monetized. What am I talking about? What's monetized? What does that mean, Diva? When you signed the ticket, you created money. When you signed the ticket, you created money. And they're going to take that ticket and they're going to cash it with a Federal Reserve System somewhere, and they're going to get funds off of it as per your driver's license, which is a financial instrument in itself. They're taking that number off that financial instrument and they're putting it on that ticket, which is now charged and worth money. And now they're going to cash it in because it's got your valuable signature on it. All right. So when you walk into court, that ticket has been cashed. Now, what you don't know is the ticket, the money from the ticket belongs to you. The money from the ticket belongs to you. Why? Because that card, that little driver's license, that card is in your all capital letter name. That all capital letter name is your corporation. Don't you let nobody else out here tell you it's not. Oh, it don't belong to us. That's BS. That's BS to the BS. To the BS, it belongs to you because your mother created it and made you beneficiary. It belongs to you. You just never claimed it. So here they are taking a ticket that you have signed and created money with your own signature, and then they cash it and they don't even tell you about it. They don't even let you know that this signature is worth money, but they better have that signature or they can't get money. So what happens? They cash this valuable financial instrument, and then you come into court. And in court, they have charged you $1,000. Now, mind you, who knows what amount they cashed that ticket for? It might be upwards of $1,000,000. Who knows what they cashed that ticket for? It might be upwards of $1,000,000. But they're gonna tell you you owe us $1,000. All right. Meanwhile, they've already gotten money on the back end. So one of the viewers here says the term subrogation. Once again, whatever they cash that ticket in for, that the funds belong to you, but you have to know how to claim it. And you start learning how to claim it with the term subrogation. 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 Look it up. We go over it in class. What subrogation means is that you are claiming the title to that instrument that they cashed. You're saying, all right, look, all right, judge. So $1,000 subrogation. I would like to subrogate for the funds that you say that I owe. They're gonna treat you like you dumb. They're gonna treat you like, what are you talking about? That does not exist. But you better keep saying, sir, subrogation, because they have an instrument or funds that belong to you. Now I need to go back because I told you they cashed that instrument. When you go into court, even if you have been charged with whatever, all right, you need to be asking for the original ticket. Where is the original ticket? Why is that important? This is a sample of, in the book, of a ticket. Now, why is this original ticket important? Because I told you when you signed it, you created money. And when you're in court, they have to have 400 here, and they're just getting that money for all the people who said guilty and NOLO. Yeah, they want to just get their money. This is a business you're walking into. All right. So the point of that is that this business has to give you a receipt. And the receipt has to do with that ticket. So if they're claiming that that you owe a debt to them, I need to see the original instrument. They're not going to have it because they already cashed it. And if they don't have it, then it's a fraudulent proceeding. I need to see the original ticket. Well, we don't have the original ticket. We got a digital copy. Well, then there's fraud. If you don't have the original ticket, then there's fraud going on here in this court. And I need this case dismissed. Now, you might not get it on that, but I'm letting you know that there's fraud. So if you say to them, okay, it's a contract, it's a court of law, it's a financial instrument. I'm telling you, it's all these things. And you got to understand, once you sign it, you sign this check, they're going to go cash it. If they're saying that you are in debt to them because you signed something, then they got to show you. Let me see the original instrument that I signed. Let me see that. Well, we don't have it, so we got a digital copy. Well, then there's fraud here. If you can't show me the original document, y'all got to understand how valuable your wet ink signature is. You got to start understanding how valuable your wet ink signature is. All right. Expound on that, John Doe. Thank you for joining. Randy, thank you for joining. Uh, rights of subrogation and equity. That's right. Barry, thank you for that. Can I use a P.O. box to create a foreign express trust? Absolutely, Glad, and you absolutely should. I would use a box that doesn't have a P.O. box, because a lot of times when you're trying to use your P.O. box, you get flagged and they want your address. So try to find a company that provides you with an address as opposed to a P.O. box if you can, but you can use a P.O. box to create it. Uh, Beyond Average says robbed twice. Beyond Average, the court is a bank. They work for us. Yes, they do. And the court is a bank. I don't want to expound on your robbed twice, because I'd have to get into something deep on that, and you might not like it. But I have never signed for a ticket. All right, Chameleon, and you don't have to sign. All right, you don't have to sign. Sometimes people are in fear. Thank you, Antoinette, for the love. Antoinette says, thank you so much for the info. Thank you so much for being here and listening and being willing to hear the info. Dap Boy Bree says, thank you. Thank you, Dap. Darren says, I have a question. Darren, put your question in the comment section so I can get it before I get up out of here. All right, so, okay, Beyond Average, I'm going to say it before I get out of here. Any contract with interest usury is against your human rights. Right, John Doe. All right, so we're talking about subrogation. All right. And again, you got to recognize these courts, they are very much fraudulent. They are. And this is why we got to start being willing to stand up, especially when we're talking about traffic tickets, and really just being willing to, when you, if they pull you over, then make sure you respond within the 10 days. All right. And be above and beyond that, when you come into university, let's get you to the point where you got tags that are federal on your car, where they don't even have jurisdiction. That doesn't mean to go out and do stupid things. It doesn't mean to weave in and out of traffic. And it doesn't mean to do that. But what it does mean is that when they see your tag, they'll know you're not under their jurisdiction, and they won't pull you over in the first place. All right. So, but getting back to this, now you're understanding subrogation. This is all the way down to the point where they guilty, paid $1,000. Well, when you say subrogation, you're claiming the assets that come from that ticket that you signed when the cop pulled you over, or any other document. It doesn't matter. I need y'all to know something. There's no criminal. They tell you, oh, there's civil and then there's criminal. There is no criminal. Everything is civil, because none of these courts have the true authority to be prosecuting you under any kind of criminal issues at all. They're all private corporations. The only thing they're doing is civil and telling you that it's criminal, but it's all about money. Do you have enough money or know how to access the funds to satisfy whatever the debt is? It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a traffic ticket or murder. Do you know how to access the funds to satisfy the debt? It's all commerce. Yeah. It's all civil or civil. So now with subrogation, and then I'm gonna close out on this, and I'm gonna get into one other subject, and I'm gonna get out of here. With subrogation, all right, when you claim subrogation, what they're likely to do is they'll pass you a sheet of paper. All right. It'll be a blank sheet of paper. They're going to pass you this blank sheet of paper. And you got to know what to write on it. You got to know what to say and how to stand. when they pass you that blank sheet of paper, because what they're now asking you to do, they're trying to contract with you now. Like, can you please just sign the paper and get up out of here so we can, you got to know what to do. You got to know what to say and know what to sign. That's our contract writing session. You got to learn how to write contracts. These people have been contracting with you the whole time, sending you contracts. You got to learn how to write them yourself. Okay? All right. If y'all have any other questions, please let me know. Put them in the comments section. Is it weird that I have never been asked to sign a traffic ticket? Did you pay for it, Chameleon? Because nowadays, what they're trying to do is, like, there was this one court. You walk up first and ask, "You here to pay a ticket?" Like, they excited. "You here to pay a ticket? We need the money." No, I'm not. I'm here to get my money from you for violating my rights. Okay. So what they'll do is they won't, you don't, they say, "You don't have to sign it. We could just do what we need to do." Please know that that is fraud. Fraud. And for all we know, they're getting your signature and putting it on that document themselves. For all we know, because now everything is digital. So you sign this ticket for your driver's license. That's in a little box. You sign it in a little box, and that thing gets digitized. For all we know, they send that digitized copy over to that agency that's trying to sue you, and they're sending that ticket in with your signature on it. "Oh, you don't have to sign it. We're gonna, yeah." Because these agencies are working together. So they're gonna send to your state, "Hey, state of whatever, whatever. I need the signature for John Doe over here, so we can put it on this ticket and get this, get this money." For all we know, they are taking your digitized signature and putting it on that document for you. You still need to respond to them and make it clear, "I do not consent to contract." Um, Chameleon says, "I pay attorneys." Well, attorney can't help you with this. All right. And you can see, let me say, go ahead and pay attorneys. Because see, what you don't know, and I need y'all to pay attention. Thank you for that comment, Chameleon. Pay attention, pay close attention. Attorneys do not work for you. Their first and number one duty is to the court and not to you. What is an attorney? Attorney is one who turns over your property to someone else. That's what attorney means, to turn over your property to someone else. Now, an attorney or a lawyer, especially if they are bar licensed, they work first for the court. And there are things that they can't do for you if they wanted to, and things that they can't do for you because they don't know it. They haven't been taught this. Most of these lawyers probably don't even know what subrogation is. And even if they did know what subrogation is, they sure as hell will not be using it for you in nobody's court of law, because they will get disbarred. These people are working together. The bar license attorney and the court. All these courts are owned by Britain. All the courts are owned by Britain. When we're talking about bar, the acronym means British Accredited Registry. British Accredited Registry. A licensed lawyer or attorney are working for Britain, and they'll tell you, "No, I'm not." Well, they don't have a clue. They weren't taught this stuff. When you come into UNARepublic, we're teaching you the real deal about law. Lawyers don't learn this stuff. They don't learn this. So you've got to recognize that, yeah, go ahead and pay your attorney. They ain't never going to work for you. Never. Their first duty is to the court, period, and point blank. And if you ask one who is half respectable, they'll tell you they work for the court, not you. But go ahead and pay the attorney. Or you can learn how to do it for yourself, stand for yourself, because an attorney, by the way, when you have an attorney, you're considered black. What does that mean, black? Oh, dead, ignorant, imbecile, without standing. You have no voice. Go ahead and pay your attorney. That means you're an ignorant imbecile with no standing. You're black. You're a dead corpse. Congratulations. Cordy, you say you want to join. Leave a message in the inbox so we can send you the link, and then you will be able to join and send over all the information that we need to get you enrolled as a member. All right. Beyond Facts says foreign agent. That's what they are. The courts, they're foreign agents. Um, yeah. Thank you, Lewis. It means you're incompetent. You have no ability to stand. And so this is why if you're going to hire a lawyer, if you're going to hire a lawyer, you better know what you're getting. You're getting somebody who's not working for you at all. And they will never, and I mean ever, never, ever, ever, ever use the term subrogation on your behalf in a court of law. And guess what? If you've hired an attorney, you can't say it either. You will not be able to say it because you don't have a voice. You're going to be told to shut up and sit down because you have made yourself incompetent by signing over power of attorney to somebody who doesn't even work for you. They work for the court first. Anybody have any questions? Thank you, Barry. Barry says you're awesome. You're awesome too. I love you. Cordy says I just inboxed you. Thank you, Cordy. We got you. Yeah, you do have to fire the lawyer. If you're wanting to stand for yourself, you've got to fire them. You got to fire them because otherwise you don't have a voice and they can never stand for you. You know, people be talking about, well, such and such, you know, went to jail or whatever, whatever. Okay, look, they signed to be in jail. You signed for an attorney and they're going to intimidate you. They're going to make you seem like this is over your head, and maybe it is. But what I suggest you do is be willing to learn for yourself so that if this situation comes up, you know how to stand. And I'm going to say this too, because this is what's most important. And I had to point this out because I don't want anybody just thinking, oh, you can just do whatever you want and get away with it. Okay? It doesn't work like that. There is a higher law that we call universal laws. And if you put out an energy, it's got to come back to you. You don't ever get away with anything. I don't care if you think nobody saw you. Somebody always sees you. The universe always sees you. You cannot get away with anything. So you got to learn those higher laws. But when it comes to this lower level laws, the contracts and all of that, yeah, you got to learn what's going on in this game so that you can stand. And if you are signing or giving somebody power of attorney over you, especially somebody who's under the bar, who's licensed, they can't work for you. They're going to act like, they're going to pretend like they were, oh, I'm on your side. I believe you. I believe you're innocent. I believe, but all this stuff is already paid. Subrogation, say subrogation. Well, okay, we're not going to get to that right now. We can't, yeah. I think we're going to win this. Yeah, and then the next thing you know, you got 10 to life. I'm just letting you know they can't work for you. They get disbarred even if they knew this information, they can't say it. I am studying to be an attorney. Okay, well you ain't gonna learn nothing that's really dealing with law, stoic. Go ahead and become licensed and barred or whatever they call that. Go ahead. You're not gonna learn what we're learning in this school. You won't be able to stand. And go ahead and get licensed. And this is what happens. This is how they work the game. When you become licensed, then they threaten your license. They threaten to take that away from you if you do anything that goes against the court. So you got to understand, when these lawyers and or attorneys come into the courtroom, they are under the bar, which is the British Accredited Registry. All these companies, these courts, they're owned by Britain, And what's happening is that they are in place to keep you or keep something from happening into the court whereby you can sue the court. That's what the lawyer and attorney are for. To keep you from something from happening whereby you can sue the court. Their duty first is to the court. So as a bar licensed attorney or lawyer, they have to protect the court first. And y'all not understanding that the court has already made money off of your signature if you sign anything to be in that court. If you sign anything to be in that court, they've already made money off of you. Now, what could allow you to sue them? Subrogation. When you recognize, hey, wait a minute, y'all made money off of me. I want that funds to pay for whatever y'all saying I owe you in court. That's subrogation. That then you get to sue the court because you're telling the court, give me my funds back. All right. But if you have a lawyer, you're not going to be able to say that because you've already silenced yourself. You've already made yourself incompetent by hiring an attorney. All right. I hope I'm clear on that. Well, Stoic says I'm studying to become a defense attorney. Well, I'd say congratulations, but yeah, I'd say congratulations, but I don't, you know, I know you're not going to get a true education when you go into one of their schools because they purposely don't teach lawyers this information that I'm giving you. All right, Flame says I buy the book. It's on the way. Yeah, it's on the way. As a matter of fact, these if you're getting those tonight, uh, or anywhere within this weekend, they're going out Monday. Let's see. They choose the words for you. I'm not going to say it, but the Act 1666. I'm not sure which the Act 1666. And what do you mean they choose the words for you? Expound on that for me so I can understand. Uh, Kanda says, are you speaking about the indemnity bonds and surety bonds? Thank you, Kanda. So when you have a court case, by law, and y'all can look this up, it's called the Miller Act, Miller. So we're getting into understanding the underlying issues that are going on with this case, with a case. Now, with these little smaller courts, there's a thing called the Little Miller Act. Little Miller Act. And in this act, if there is a organization that is contracting. And see, when we say contracting, y'all think of people who building houses and wearing dirty shoes and digging in the ground. No, we're talking about a court is a contracting agency. It's contracting with the federal government. And so by the Little Miller Act, these courts, when they're contracting, they have to insure the case. So if you say guilty, not guilty, nolo, a case has been started. Really, when you sign a ticket, a case has been started. But when you say guilty, not guilty, or nolo, a case has been started, and they have to insure the case. Okay, they got to insure it. Why? Because just in case you end up suing them, then there has to be a protection, something that protects you and the court. There has to be protection to keep from being able to sue the federal government. Normally start at $1 million and they're all in your name. Bid bond, payment bond, performance bond. Okay. So what you have to, and I'm not going into those today, I'm just letting you know what they are. Okay, and that's what Kanda is talking about when she talks about the indemnity bonds. Uh, and yes, so with that, Beyond says they have a 5-6F fiduciary duty. So what happens is you got to understand when you walk into court, the judge who's created these fraudulent documents behind your back, because it's not just the ticket that's created off your signature. They go turn around and create three other bonds, and now they become fiduciary. They meaning they're responsible for paying the bill, but they don't pay the bill and they don't ever tell you about your instruments. This is why you use the term subrogation, because you're at that point claiming the instruments. And if they are, uh, how do you say, honest enough to respond, then they're going to send you a blank sheet of paper, and you better know how to write what needs to be written on that blank sheet of paper so you can walk up out that court without having to pay any funds. Um, Kevin says, thank you so much for this information. Thank you, Kevin, for joining. Uh, Nagajina says, where may I purchase the book? You can purchase the book at UNARepublic.com. You can go on there, find us. You can also purchase, send us a message in the inbox, okay? Leave us a message, and we're going to let us know that you want to become a member, and we'll send you the link so that you can become a member. This is the UNA Beginner Law book. There's the ebook version. That's $19.99. You can find that on the site. And then there is the physical copy. All right. The physical copy comes with a laminated copy of the hierarchy of law chart. It comes with a laminated copy of the universal law chart, and it comes with a laminated copy of the vibratory frequency chart. We get into all these laws because the vibratory frequency, that's the law too. All right. Anybody else have any questions before I get out of here? I want y'all to know I really do appreciate you. Thank y'all for being so intelligent. I love it. I love it. I love to see that we are awakening uh, in this new world, as one of the viewers put it. I really do appreciate seeing that you guys, beyond and some of my other viewers, thank you all for being so intelligent and doing your research and being willing to share it. Thank you so much. Previn bond, performance bond, bid bond. Yeah, so bid bond, performance bond, payment bond. So perhaps Previn is a different term for one of those, but bid bond, payment bond, performance bond. Uh, yeah, the Cesta Trust CQV. Yes. What is the difference between this and becoming Moorish American? Thank you, Cordy. The difference between us and becoming Moorish American, that is a beautiful question, and I appreciate that. With us, you're not standing under us. We're standing with you. We don't want your product, your property, or nothing else. We don't want to own you. We don't want you under us. We need you standing as an intelligent, sovereign entity, because we can't stand with you being ignorant under us. That's not okay with us at all. All right. We want you to be free. You cannot be free if you don't have true knowledge. So I always say this: ignorance and freedom do not coexist. You got to have knowledge. And not that I'm saying that they want you to be ignorant or whatever, but we're giving it to you all. We want you to know it all because we need you to be able to stand on your own, so that when there comes a time that you need to fight, you're not just dependent on us. You know how to stand, and we just there backing you. You follow? So the other thing is, we're not asking you to sign over any property to us, and we are not about you just being up under us. You need to be your own nation. You need to be your own sovereign nation. So the difference is that we're not telling you, oh, you got to be under UNA, you got to only be with us, and all. No. And we're making sure that you know how to stand on your own, because you need to be sovereign. I hope I answered your question. All right. Thank you, Chameleon. William says, I'm interested in joining, but I know what to do. It's my first time hearing this. Thank you. Oh, you don't know what to do. All right, William, send a message in the inbox. We're going to send you the information, the link to become a member. And then we're going to show you, we want you all to join the university. Okay, we don't require it. for you to be a member, but we encourage it because you got to start learning how to stand. And we're going to walk you through it step by step. My students in the the university with the Back to Basics, they know how to create trust, not only for themselves, but for their own nation. They know how to make them stand and make them public. They know how to make it where, okay, can't nobody touch this. They know how to get it to the point where their bank can't report their information as far as taxes. They don't have to deal with taxes with their job. They're at the point, especially my advanced students, where, okay, we know how to get a tag for my car. Okay. Robbie, send a message to the inbox so we can get with you. You can also leave a message at UNA University, all right? And we will send you the link so that you can become a member. All right. So I'm ready to get up out of here. I want y'all to know I love you and I appreciate you. I thank you. I am so excited about this new day, this new dimension we're walking in. I'm so excited because of the simple fact that we get to control our third dimension. All right. We get to put some people on notice and we get to change the system. You get to change the system because you have knowledge. The only reason why they keep walking over people is because the people don't have knowledge. Well, now that we're gaining knowledge, the system has to change. And as soon as you start putting your rights into effect, then they can't keep walking over you. Okay. I want y'all to know I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm going to see you all on Sunday. Sunday at 3 o'clock. I love you. I thank you. I love you. If you go ahead and get your books, your physical books now, before Monday, they're going to go out. Okay, if you get them this weekend, they're going to go out. These are $39.99 on UNAUniversity.com. All right, $29.99 if you want the ebook. I want y'all to know I love you. I love you. Beyond, thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you. I hope we get to build some more. All right, Jamin, super or sup, God. Thank you so much. Mello, thank you. I'm out. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace. Bye bye.